Hey everyone, it's Monique Renewed. Welcome back to another video. So today's video is going to be 11 tips on how to stay consistent with your weight loss journey and how to finally get to your weight loss goal. Or it doesn't even have to be about weight loss. It could be about your health journey, anything related to that fact. So about a year ago, I made a video on how I lost 30 pounds. I will link it right here in the cards. To me, living a healthy lifestyle is not about reaching a certain destination, but it is a lifestyle, a lifelong journey, and there are bumps in the road. Things can go up and down, side to side. Obstacles could be thrown in your path and you can be knocked off your journey. Such is the case with me. Okay, I feel like ever since me and my husband went on a cruise in July for my birthday, it was like one of the best trips I ever had in my life. We had so much fun. Mexico was my favorite, and although I don't regret anything, but I do have to say, ever since then, it has been really hard for me to stay consistent with my eating habits. You know, I have reached my weight loss goal, but I have slowly but surely been gaining that weight back. It's not that much, but it's like, you know, when you have a goal in mind and it's like you can't quite make it there and you keep going back and forth, back and forth. That's how it's been with me. I'm going to be honest, and it feels like I fell off ever since then. It's been 6 months ago and I've never been able to stay back on for whatever reason. And it's not because of the cruise in general. It's like life be lifing, okay? Every day is something different, good, bad, whatever. We know January is a time where we make our New Year's resolutions. We get back on track on our goals, whatever goals you have in life in general, whether it's to go back to school, to make more money, get a different job. But consistency is always the key into like anything that you want to achieve in life. I personally want to be consistent with my YouTube channel. I've been doing this for years, but it seems like I have been really stagnant. It's a lot of other goals that I want to achieve in life, but I feel like the thing that always drags me back is not being consistent enough. So that's what this video is about, is 11 tips on how to stay consistent with your health journey. Like I said, it's not just about weight loss. It could be just being healthy in general in life. You don't want health issues to stop you from anything, really. So let's get started. Okay, so I have all my tips written down here in my notebook, and tip number 1 is to make an adult Lunchable. I've seen these like on YouTube shorts and on TikTok where people will have sectional lunch containers and they will put like a variety of different things in it, like grapes, like some fruit or something. I personally like grapes, cheese, like a piece of meat, like a jerky stick or something, trail mix, yogurt, veggies like cucumber or carrots if you like to snack on that. Just something that you can take on the go with you really quickly. That's not a full-blown meal, so that you won't be tempted to go out and get you some cookies or something more unhealthy. I take this type of stuff with me to work. I like to chop up some apples and put it in there and drizzle some of my maple syrup and PB2 concoction, and I like to put that on there. This does really help. Like sometimes you're in between meals, like okay, it's not quite lunchtime yet, and I already ate my breakfast, but I don't know what to eat, and I don't want to go around the corner to 7-Eleven to get me like some $1 cookies like I just did today. So I'm gonna pop out my adult Lunchable. Tip number 2 is to add a variety to your meals. If you go by the dietary guidelines, I believe it is, it's always a plate with like different things. Like they have like the meat, the carbs or the starch, the vegetables, and then they'll have like a side of like milk and a side of fruit or something like that. And that's actually a really good idea, because sometimes when you eat something like all savory, at least for me, I tend to crave something really sweet after I eat my lunch or my dinner, because my meal was basically like all savory. So I want something to kind of balance that and to kind of counteract my lunch. Whenever after I eat lunch and I'm craving something sweet, I'll have like a side of fruit or like a yogurt, like a flavored yogurt. Or you can have like a drink, like a carbonated drink such as an Alani. I love Alanis. They tend to be like really sweet sometimes, but I still do really like it. This is the Orange Kiss Alani, and it's only 10 calories, which is really good, and it's no sugar, and it has like vitamins and stuff in it. Or I like getting these drinks, these sparkling carbonated drinks from BJ's or Aldi's or Lidl's. So like a carbonated drink after your meal could really help you feel full. Of course, sugar-free and, you know, 0 calories. I mean, you can have whatever, but this is just my tips to keep it low on the sugars and the calories and stuff like that. That can help you balance the meal out so you don't feel like you're missing something from your lunch or dinner. So add a variety of food. Tip number 3 is to stop eating foods that you don't like. So for example, I will meal prep something that I'm like experimenting with and I end up hating it. A few weeks ago, I saw a recipe for quinoa oatmeal on Pinterest, and I decided it's like oatmeal, but you make it with quinoa instead of oats. Girl, at least for me, I did not like it. Quinoa has like a nutty flavor and I didn't like that sweetened. I'd much rather have it savory. Now, I have tried quinoa in substitute of grits, like white grits, and it's actually really good. Instead of grits, I use the quinoa, and I blended it in a blender before to kind of give it like that grit texture, but I don't even do that anymore. Like I'll put half and half in it and it comes out creamy just like grits. And it's really good. The quinoa oatmeal, I did not like it. I end up veering off from my plan and eating out instead. So that's what I mean. Don't make foods that you don't like. And I didn't know I wasn't gonna like it, but if you know your taste buds, then don't go experimenting off of something that you know you probably won't like, because you'll end up not wanting to eat it and going to go get something else that's unhealthy. Tip number 4 is to jazz up your food with different sauces. If you're a sauce person like me, I love sauce. Like I love ketchup on my fries. I love salad. Like I like a lot of salad dressing. I don't like a splash of salad dressing and the salad's all dry. I like sauces. Look up recipes like on Pinterest or TikTok, YouTube on how to make a variety of low calorie sauces, because it will transform your meals. Like if you pour some sauce over like some plain chicken, guess you're gonna eat the chicken, okay? It just adds a little pizzazz. And if you make your own out of like non-fat Greek yogurt, you can really lower the calories in salad dressing, in your own homemade salad dressing, and up the protein. If you measure out how much salad dressing that you use on a scale, I bet you it would come out to be like 75 to 100 calories or more, because they load up salad dressings and these sauces with like fat and sugar, of course, to enhance the flavor. So make your own homemade sauces. Tip number 5 is to add a variety of foods to your meal planning. I know that sounds kind of contradictory to only eat foods that you know you're gonna like, but how would you know if you like something if you don't try it? I was never the type to buy zucchini or eggplant. I've had them before, obviously, but I never brought it to cook it myself. I think I was like looking at a video one day that was making a veggie lasagna and I wanted to try it. Oh my gosh, I made a veggie lasagna out of eggplant and zucchini and it was actually really good. And I was kind of surprised. So yeah, you can experiment with different things, see if you like it, and obviously if you like it, you can add it to your rotation and you won't be eating the same thing over and over again. You feel like you're eating the 5 same things. And of course, write down these recipes so you won't forget. I feel like I will make something like really good the first time, and then the second time I try to make it, ends up really bad for whatever reason. Not really bad, but it's not the same for some reason. So be sure to write down your favorite recipes. I have a notebook. Okay, don't make fun of my notebook. But I have Dr. Now on here, okay? I love my 600-pound life. So this is my food recipe notebook. I write down, like, if I see a recipe on YouTube or TikTok, them videos on TikTok be disappearing, or videos on YouTube be going private and stuff. So I like to write it down just in case the video like deletes. And I'll write down some recipes that I want to try, or recipes that I have tried and I really liked it, and I'll write them down in my notebook. Tip number 6 is stop watching people eat online, specifically mukbangs, okay? I posted a video a while ago on why I stopped watching mukbang videos. I'll link it right here. I was literally addicted to those type of videos. I am a person that genuinely loves food. I'm a foodie, okay? I love trying food. I love good food. I love hanging out with people when it's centrist food, okay? But I find that when I am watching people eat online, it enhances my cravings for unhealthy food. Of course, I'm not watching somebody eat a salad. I'm watching people eat fried chicken, stuff that I like, sushi, and then it makes me want to go get that very same food. I even talked about in that video how I got into a car accident because after I watched a mukbang of somebody eating sushi, I went to go get some sushi and I got into a car accident on my way home. never again, okay? And of course, you know, this has to do with, you know, dopamine and stuff like that, and it messes with your tendency to binge eat and to be inconsistent with your plans that you had, because you're like, oh, I don't want my meal prep, I don't want to eat this, whatever I got going on, I want some of what they have, so I'm gonna go out and get it. And then like you're in this cycle of always regretting it. That leads to tip number 7, is to regulate your emotions without using food, okay? I don't know, I feel like I've grown up never learning how to self-soothe or to cope with things in a healthy manner. What I've been finding lately is using food to cope with my emotions, which is not the right avenue whatsoever. So for example, every time something happened, like some drama happened at work or something made me upset, I would resort to food. And specifically, I love sweets, like I love cookies, ice cream, stuff like that, fried food. I would, you know, put in the air fryer some Just Bare chicken. Now there's nothing wrong with stuff like that, but of course in moderation. But I wouldn't do it in moderation. I would eat like 2-3 times the serving. And to me, that was emotional binge eating, which I never thought I would find myself in, but unfortunately I was, and it became a repetitive cycle, seeking comfort in food. That's not what I wanted to do, but it was so hard to pull myself out of this cycle. And then I would feel guilty and horrible afterwards, and to try to make up for all the excess calories that I ate, I would try to fast or intermittent fast and not eat breakfast or skip lunch and stuff like that. But it's like it just kept going back and forth, and that's why I remained stagnant. So now instead of resorting to food, I'm trying to resort more into journaling. I used to journal a lot. Like, I don't know if you can see back here, like I have like tons of journals, you know, basically like keep a diary and just write out how I'm feeling instead of holding it in and then seeking comfort in like sweets. So I would journal and I would try to bring logic into the situation instead of like overthinking something. I would try to see situations from a different perspective and try to uncrazy myself, as I like to call it. And ultimately just leave things up to God. You know, prayer works. Pray to God about it. Vent to God instead of venting to other people that can't really solve your problems. You know, venting could ultimately lead to things being worse. So prayer, journaling, and just not stressing and worrying yourself over something that you can't control. Tip number 8 is to find a hobby, something fun that you can do that's kind of mindless. You don't have to think too hard. I find myself veering off the most on my plans when I'm at work because I'm very bored. That is when boredom strikes. I have to sit in the same seat for several hours straight staring at a computer screen. It's like you're working, but you're doing the same thing over and over again. It can get really boring. Because I'm bored, I want something exciting like food. Like I tend to resort to food. Oh my gosh, what can I eat? Let me go to 7-Eleven and pick up some cookies or something. That is what happens because I can't really do something different or multitask. I have to stay in the same spot all day. You know, try to get your breaks in and not sit down in the same seat all day. Get up and walk around. Sometimes I will get some steps in and walk around, or there's like a library right around the corner for me. So on my lunch break, I'll go to the library and browse through some books. They have a bookstore in there. And speaking of books, I have been really getting into books lately. So like I said, if you're bored and you tend to resort to food, read a book, okay? Learn how to draw. Speaking of books, I just finished the Housemaid series by Frida McFadden, just to throw my tidbit in there even though nobody asked. I really liked the first book. The second and third book, it was like even after I read the first book, I was like, I'm satisfied here. Like, this was amazing. I gave it a 4 stars. You know, get into something that will alleviate stress, take your mind off of reality really quickly without resorting to like TikTok. I'm not gonna lie, I could spend hours on there, okay? Which is really bad. I need to delete it off my phone, but like it could become very addictive. Pick up a different hobby, learn how to cook, make different recipes, journal, organize your life, play a game. Like, try to limit your screen time. Do like stuff in real life. Make a project list. So for example, on my project list, I have to clean out my vanity area. Meal plan. Now, meal plan is different from meal prepping. Meal prepping is actually batch cooking food that you can eat for a few days. Meal planning is actually like writing out and thinking and brainstorming about what you're going to eat. They can go hand in hand to make like a power force, okay? Take a few minutes in your day and just write down like what you're going to eat every day. What do you plan on eating every day? So that way, if you go to the grocery store, you can pick up the ingredients that you need. You're not waiting until the last minute and then you're unprepared, and then you go into work, you don't have nothing to eat, you go to the chicken hut around the corner and blow all your calories. I've been in this predicament several times where I can't really think of what to eat, so I'll make something like last minute, or it's not something I really liked, or I forgot something at the grocery store, or I forgot to defrost this meat. So take the time to write down every day what you want to eat. To take it even a further step, if you count your calories, if you have an app, I use the Lose It app, or if you have MyFitnessPal, you can pre-plan your meals within the app, so you can see, you know, how many calories you're working with, your macros and stuff like that. So that's already prepared for you for the week. Okay, the next tip is don't deprive yourself, but also learn how to say no. So there's a balance in between this, and you'll know in your heart when you should say no to something, or when you should say yes to something. Like, you and hubby want to go out on date night. Am I gonna say no? No, I'm not gonna say no to that. So I'm gonna go out and eat, okay? I'm not gonna order a salad. Now, what I might do, I will probably forego breakfast or have something really light just to hold me over until we go out to eat, because then I'll feel like overstuffed, or I'll eat only like half of my meal. Sometimes I can't finish the whole thing, and I'll take the rest home to eat, you know, the next day. So you could do that to have it like balanced, to not feel like you're overstuffing yourself, or to not feel like you're depriving yourself either. And sometimes you do need to say no. Like, he'll ask me, oh, you want Chipotle? And I'm just like, you know what? I've already met my calories. I already have my next meal in mind that I'm going to eat for dinner. I'm gonna say no, because Chipotle will always be there. I love Chipotle. Maybe not as much as he does, but every once in a while I do say no, because I know if I say yes, I'll end up blowing my calorie budget, and then I'll have to make up for it. I'll try to work out extra hard, or one of my meal prep doesn't get eaten, and then it, you know, it just messes up the flow. So have a balanced discernment when to say yes, when to say no. I feel like for someone like me, who sometimes it's hard for me to say no sometimes to people, or to set boundaries, that kind of spills over in several areas of my life, and it applies to food too. If you're like me, like, you'll have like fear of missing out. Okay, they call it FOMO. You don't want to miss out on something, so you'll tend to say yes to everything, but it's not good to say yes to everything. You can say yes to some things and then say no to other things. Don't deprive yourself so much where you feel like you'll go on a binge later, because then it defeats the whole purpose. Have a piece of candy every once in a while, especially if you've been doing good, okay? But don't over exceed the serving amount. You can look at the back of the label and see what's the serving size. Don't have the entire big bag of chips, okay? Portion out what you're supposed to eat. And this is my last tip for this video, something that I really love to do because I love sweets. So this is like a bonus tip for you. If you love desserts, make your own. You don't always have to buy stuff from the store. There are so many recipes and YouTube channels that make healthy foods that you literally don't have to go buy cookies, buy cake, buy brownies. I mean, of course, like, it's convenient and it's quick and you don't have to, you know, buy the ingredients yourself, but like, sometimes it's fun making your own stuff and experimenting. So there's this YouTube channel that I've been really into lately called Healthy Dieting Lifestyle. He makes tons of recipes on like healthy desserts and stuff like that. Do some research. I literally found this perfect recipe on TikTok on how to make this single serving chocolate cake. Okay, low fat, low in calories, and it has protein in it. Perfect. I use that as a substitute for when I like have a sweet tooth, and then I'll drizzle cookie butter on top of it. It's so delicious, and it uses pumpkin puree, cocoa powder. And the pumpkin puree substitutes butter, and it makes it really moist and soft and not dry, and you put a little bit of protein powder, and it's so delicious and it's healthy. That's what I mean. And I recently brought a Ninja Creamy ice cream maker, so now I get to make my own homemade protein, low calorie, low sugar ice cream. Game changer, okay? I cannot wait to try this thing out. I remember one time I ate like a big old bowl of cookies and cream ice cream. That's my favorite, and I literally passed out. Like, not literally, but like figuratively. I went to sleep and I woke up feeling horrible. And it's most likely because my blood sugar probably spiked to the roof, and that's just not good for you in the long run. That's why I say you don't have to pay these big corporations all your money just to make something that you can literally make that's 10 times better yourself. You know, make your own healthy recipes, desserts at home. Ice cream is like one of my favorite desserts besides cookies, but it has so much fat and sugar in it. If you like Mexican food, try to make your favorite Mexican food at home. If you like Chinese food, try to make it at home. Make your own version at home. You literally don't have to pay, and plus food is so expensive nowadays. Takeout food is so expensive. You can literally buy the items at the grocery store and have way more bang for your buck. I was watching a girl's video just now, and she talked about a craving chart. I found this on Pinterest. So it's literally a chart of like things that you crave. So for example, if I crave sweets, I need chromium, which is so ironic because that actually helps with your blood sugar, carbon, phosphorus, sulfur. So foods that have that are grapes, which I do love grapes, chicken, beef, fish, eggs, cranberry. If you crave chocolate, magnesium, nuts, seeds, legumes, beans. So look this stuff up. There's tons of material and resources out there that can help you. So yeah, that is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.